Hi everyone, welcome back to the thetechyned blog, and we're on step 5 of how I passed CBAP on first attempt. So today we are going to look at how to solve IIBA CBAP exam questions for exam preparation. Yes, I've done a lot of research, simulator questions, I've taken my exams, and I'm now trying to guide you on how you can, go through those simulators comfortably, okay? And at the same time, even this can work for you for any exam. So we're going to look at important facts, and also we're going to look at steps on how to solve exam questions. Now, we are looking at the important facts. I want you to see this as a recommendation or consideration before you go into looking at what we have here. And the first is that you need to consider studying your IBA's BABOK, the latest version. You've reading or read IBA's exam handbook is online. Then already you're preparing for your exam at this point so that you don't get confused with the details we have here. Already you are preparing for your exam, already solving online exam simulators, gone through our previous videos on exam preparation, done all necessary research, whether it's online or offline. You've done your virtual led in-person business analysis class. Also, you've maybe done a pre-recorded online class and you've joined a community, and then you've done your due diligence when it comes to preparing for your exams, maybe something I've not mentioned here. Now I've taken these steps to or this knowledge area guide from IIBA's website, and they've made it clear that the exam they are going to set it from their 6 knowledge areas, and they've apportioned some percentage to like the volume of whatever will come and whatever is expected of you to know. So you should have this in mind. Okay. Then another thing is that we're going into the steps. So the first one you need to consider when you're going through your simulators, you're preparing for exam and all whatnot, is that you should know the knowledge area and what is expected. For example, collaboration and elicitation and collaboration knowledge area, you have to prepare for elicitation. That is the task. You have to communicate, you have to do this and that. And under each, you have the input, the output, you have the elements and all whatnot. So when the question is coming from your simulator or wherever, you already know, like when you are reading through it, maybe a knowledge area is mentioned or a task is mentioned, your mind should just go to like that knowledge area, okay? Like you come through it. That is why you have to know it, so that when you're taking the exam, your mind is combing through it as you're reading the question, so that you know where the question is coming from, you know what they expect from you, and you know how to tackle the question. Okay. Now, the answer you pick must help optimize the BA's action or do nothing. Yes, when they are telling you, oh, we are eliciting requirements, maybe a simulator on a simulator, and we notice that our stakeholders are all over the place, and on the answer you are seeing brainstorming, you are seeing, and they're telling you that the stakeholder is like 1,000. Okay, and you're seeing brainstorming, you're seeing survey, you're seeing this and that. You already know like how you can collect requirements when you have stakeholders dispersed all over the place and there are plenty, right? Or and there are also some places on the simulators that they will tell you, okay, do nothing. Yeah. In some situations you just observe and see what happens. Okay. You don't really need to take action. Now look for lead words. For example, incorporated, included. So this tells you that is why you have to know your vocabulary to an extent. I remember in so most of the videos I've been creating, I'll tell you, know your synonyms, bring your dictionary close to you. If you see job breaking words on Babok, try to trim it down, streamline it, break it down so that you understand. Okay, so these words you will see them on those your YouTube simulators and all whatnot, where they tell you, oh, they need to incorporate this, they need to include this. Know that they are trying to tell you what do we need when it comes to input in this aspect. Okay, it is so clear. Now, words like result, it's like telling you what are we expecting at the end of the day, which is output. Okay, know when they are looking for inputs and output. This is simple. So for your simulators, when you're going through them, know when they're asking you questions, that what they expect you to do is look for the input, what they would add to this to give them result, or what they are expecting from this at the end of the day. Okay, Eliminate answers that are output when what they need is input. For example, in some simulators I came across on YouTube, and they would just give you inputs, like maybe four inputs and one output. And what they're looking for is, what are we going to include here to give us whatever answer we need? So know the answers that talk to output, eliminate them, and look at the ones that are input. Okay, don't put the cart before the horse. Exactly. When you're supposed to prepare for a elicitation, you are seeing a question on simulator that tells you, oh, the business analyst just joined the company, and they are preparing for elicitation and stuff. What is the next step the person should take? And you are going for solutioning. That is putting the cart before the horse. You've not even collected your requirement. You've not even refined it. You've not even validated it and stuff like that. So know when you are putting the cart before the horse, when you're answering those questions. Now, questions around who gives feedback on a proposed change should be streamlined to who uses the system. Yes. When, for example, a change is on the way, or a change is presented to you, we need this to happen, and you need feedback, you need a question, you need some questions to be answered. Are you not supposed to go back to the source, the same person that brought this up? Or maybe it could be the SME, it could be the end user and all what, but the main thing, who uses the system? I think that is the first question that should come to your mind. So even as you're going through tackling the questions or the simulators, you should be asking yourself questions. That is why I said you have to be psychologically alert when you are doing all this. You shouldn't be stressed, okay? So that you are able to, move like up, down, and center in your mind. Now, um, read relationships between components. Yes, like I know when I was studying backlog, when I was even tackling all those simulator questions, I found this very difficult to comprehend when it comes to satisfy, necessity, effort, validate. Please know the differences, know like the definition, and so that when you come across questions around them, like on simulators, you'd be able to tackle them. Now, keywords and how they are placed side by side. Yes, be alert when you see keywords. That's why still you have to know your synonyms, you have to know your vocabulary. I call them business analysis vocabulary. You should know them. For example, when you are seeing words like numerous stakeholders, know that when you have numerous stakeholders, for example, you're reading your simulator questions on YouTube or whatever online this thing you are using, and you are seeing questions that starts with, as a business analyst, the business analyst who joined the company found out that the stakeholders are plenty, or the stakeholders are about 1,200, or the stakeholders are all over the place and stuff like that. Your mind should start going to, okay, I think maybe what they are expecting, the next thing I should be seeing should be a list, something that has to do with a listation, and how am I going to collect requirement from these numerous stakeholders? Could it be survey and all whatnot? Or when you are seeing, when your stakeholders are dissatisfied, what is the next thing you should do? Or when you're saying comprehend or enhance, lesson learn and all whatnot, this leads you closer to the answer. Then know the functions of each task, technique, input, output, element, action, what you want to achieve with each. Now, you have on your fingertips, you have to know your knowledge areas, you have to know the tasks that come with each knowledge area. I know it's very difficult. You have to know the techniques at least, you have to know the input, the output, or you have to know the elements. And yes, because whatever, when you are answering your questions or your simulators, whatever technique or whatever task you are looking at or you are picking as your answer and stuff like that, you should know why you are picking it. For example, when for a technique you are picking brainstorming, you should know why you are picking brainstorming as a technique. When you are picking, okay, maybe the knowledge area, the task here should be collect requirement, or the task here should be communicate, or the task here should be prepare for business and whatever. So you should know why you are picking that. Okay, because I want to, because I want to verify requirements with my stakeholders and stuff like that. Because I'm picking survey because my stakeholders are plenty, they are all over the place. So I would need to send this out to them. It will save me time and money and all whatnot. So also know what know that when a solution is already repeated on the question, there is no need to repeat it as a solution because obviously it shows that it didn't work. Meetings and then an interview, etc. Yes, I know that in most of the simulators that I use to study for my BABOK exam, they did the same. For example, when they say a business analyst met with a sponsor and he was not able to, grasp the need for for the change. He went ahead to meet the SME, okay, to do a brainstorming. After a brainstorming session, he still was not able to grasp the need. So, and one or two of the answers you see interview, you will see meeting, you will see virtual meetup, you will see brainstorming, you will see demo, and what will you choose? Won't you choose demo? Because at the point you've had two meetings, what would then be the need for the third meeting? Okay, so it's not necessary at all. So like, yeah, now, ask yourself if the answer you pick solves a problem. Good. I think this follows as well. Now, you are picking meeting. Would meeting solve the problem? No. Would meeting explain to you since you've had meeting and brainstorming? No. You should make sure that whatever answer you're picking on your simulator, like, it solves your problem at the end of the day. It doesn't create more work for you. It doesn't create, because you are looking at saving time, money, and so many other things. Okay. Now, know that when you've had meetings and you don't get it, it's better you take a walk into the company or to the company or the firm or the factory to get a demo of how it's being done so that you get a better understanding of what is going on. Okay. Now, does your answer duplicate task or make your work more? Yes. Whatever answer you pick should not duplicate tasks for you. For example, you've collected your requirement from your, sorry, I'm always using requirement and illustration. I think I love illustration a lot. So maybe you've collected requirement and during, okay, or you're collecting requirement and you see that brainstorming is not working because maybe it creates more work for you. Maybe at the end of the day you have conflict and stuff like that. The best thing is do survey or you just do interview because there are some, maybe stakeholders are in different camps and they are afraid of losing their job. And so there are so many things that is in play. So you should know that whatever thing you are picking on that like option, it should solve your problem, shouldn't duplicate tasks for you. Okay. Know the role or work each technique plays or the expectations, for example, a walkthrough and meeting, brainstorming and walkthrough. So this is the same thing we said before. Know whatever you pick, what would it do for you at the end of the day? Whenever you see a company in different countries, workers are dispersed, etc., things survey fast, people, culture, etc. Yes. When they say that, oh, this company is in this part of the world and the BA lives in this part of the world, what is expected of you? Now, it's expected that that country or that company would have a work culture and not just a work culture. Maybe you people come from different parts of the world. So you have to study the culture of that, even the country to understand so that you'll be able to work with them. Okay. And also you are not seeing them, so you may have to use a lot of collaborative tools and there's a change, so that means you may have to train them and stuff like that. So your mind, whenever you see some words, that is why I won't stop emphasizing on keywords. When you see keywords, your mind should be working. Okay. Know the function of each stakeholder. Yes, very important. You have different stakeholders. You have the SME, you have your sponsor, you have all stakeholders, you have the domain subject matter expert, you have the tester and all whatnot. Okay. Never meet the sponsor for what you should not meet him for, such as issue or for help. Yes, I know even during my project management exam too, when I was doing simulators and all whatnot, I know I met this type of questions a lot. All know those YouTube simulators and all whatnot. Yes, there are some problems you would have. You don't need to go to your sponsor because you've been employed. Okay. You have to, first of all, do some analysis. You have to, first of all, engage. You have to analyze, investigate, and stuff and stuff and stuff. You don't go to your sponsor for all the problems. That means it means that you don't know what you're supposed to do. You don't know why you are here. Okay. So you only go for your sponsors when you know it is time to go to the sponsor. Now, in some cases, you can create your template. If there are none, the BA should not box himself. Yes, even Babok tells you that. And I think at the beginning of Babok, where it tells you that whatever they have provided here is not everything. You can always think out of the box. And I think in Babok too, it states that as a business analyst, if some templates don't exist, create your own. Okay, some companies have their template, but if they don't have, create your own and make it a standard. So demo when there is an issue. Don't rely on meetings or discussions. We've done this, we've talked about this before. Ask for demo. Go to the office, ask to see as it is so that you understand how it is. You observe them, they do the work and all whatnot. You won't see, you see that all those meetings, they are not necessary. And it is very important, for example, when you are collecting your requirements, okay, you want to see how they work currently so that you know how to be will look like. Always ask yourself this: what will this result to? How will it help the BA, or how does it solve the problem? Still the same thing. We even picking an option on that simulator, what would this help solve? Anywhere you see government and change, think regulation and penalties. Yes. Oh my goodness. On the simulators that I used, I saw it a lot, whereby they will tell you, oh, there's a change, but the government this or the government that, or the change has to do with regulations and all whatnot. So whenever you see legal and all whatnot, just think regulation and know that if you don't abide by those regulations, there will be penalties. Now, demo when there is an issue. Don't rely on meetings. We've talked about this. Know the role or work each method plays or the expected expectations. We've talked about this so that when you are choosing brainstorming, know what brainstorming will do for you. Avoid going for all. Yes, 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 yes. Simulators, they would never run out of what you should do. So the list of your problem or the least thing you should go for will be that option that says all. This is a recommendation. Know the input output elements, etc. Still telling you to, for each knowledge area, know the input output and element. Watch out when you have two similar answers. It means that answer is either of the two and the other answers are there to distract you. Yes. Know when there are similar answers, know how to use an elimination method to remove them. Now, in all scenarios, ask yourself what Babok says and you should do first. Yes, whatever you do, whatever question you solve, there is this Babok like mindset. Okay, ask yourself, what does Babok say? I learned that from IIBA Island chapter when I was following them on YouTube. Now, types of modeling: learn your modeling, read context, use case, process flow, concept diagram. These were what I came across on all those simulators. Look for the voice or language of Babok. Know the difference between techniques and tasks. I know it's confusing, but try to know the difference. After reading each question, ask yourself which is in Babok and which is not. It is difficult, but you can do it. What is the difference between elements, tools, techniques, and tasks? Yes, if it's possible, do you know what you can do? Get a sheet of paper, write the techniques, write all elements, tools, bring out the definitions. Okay, so when you are solving your simulators, just tell when you come across techniques, remind yourself the definition of technique and the techniques. It helps a lot because it helps you, to memorize and sort stuff, not for the exam. So whenever there is a problem, the first action is not to take action but review. I've talked about this before. When there is a problem, first of all, you know review the problem, try to investigate, try to analyze it, try to, engage and all whatnot before even you solution, okay? Or before you consult. Look for the key words or sentences. I said this at the beginning. You only have a change strategy and no other one. Now, moving on to the few last slides that we have here. Know when action is needed and know and when document analysis is needed. Maybe observation. Yes, know when you just need to do document analysis, know when you need to just do observation. For example, BA has done multiple meetings with stakeholders and no need for further meetings. You need to go through the factory to observe since you are not getting results. Read between lines. There are projects you must go in to observe. Very important. And I'm really appreciative of all the simulators that I use because they really nailed this. You should not be answering on a proposed solution when you have been told that a solution has gone live. Look for what talks to the result because the solution is live and no longer a proposed value. This is very important. I came across it in so many of the simulators that I use. Yes, when you are reading the questions, they will tell you that this solution is live. So when they tell you that something is live, there are things they don't expect you to be doing. Okay. Remember that the last knowledge area, I think that should be solution evaluation, right? Or something like that. Yes. So you have to evaluate it, know that this solution is it giving value as it's expected and all whatnot. There are some steps that are expected of you to take. There are some things that are not even expected of you to do. You have to know them. And the only way you can know them is to read your book. Now, steps to solving exam questions. The last slide would be on your calculations. Oh, please know your formulas. Man, you have to know your formulas. These are very important. Okay. Use the statement method or placement method. I know then in our kindergarten, the primary schools, they taught us how to place our numbers. So if you can use that placement method, it would help you a lot solving those simulator questions. Then break the questions down to the barest minimum. Try to get a grasp understanding of the question you are solving. Then, this is the end actually, and I hope this was of good use to you. And please, if yes, subscribe, comment, share, and like. And if you have questions, do drop it on TechNet blog. And thank you so much. Do take care. Bye.